I just want to touch on the Pies, the team that was beaten. I think they were at that tipping point. Pendlebury pulls out before the game, and you had De Goey, Howe and Sidebottom. So it really hurts. But I think they've been asking their defensive group for too much, for too long. So their team, Collingwood had kicked 48, 59, 57 and 45, and this is what they'd conceded, 43 points across rounds 1 to 7. But if you're not scoring down the other end, there's going to become a quarter where a team gets on top of you, and if you're not scoring yourself, well, how do you get back in the game? I think it was an issue for Ross Lyon and Fremantle for a long time, Cornesy, where if you're not hitting the scoreboard, it's asking a lot of the defenders at Collingwood.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's a tough, dour way to play your footy as well. I mean, everyone understands the defensive side of the game, but we're all footballers and they have grown up with the natural flair of winning the footy and kicking big scores. So it does come a little bit dour when you play that way. I also want to speak about the future of Mason Cox. Now, interestingly, he was left out of a 26-man squad over the weekend, and Reid was included in that squad. Cameron played ahead of him. The future of Mason Cox, Scuba, I've got grave concerns about it now, particularly at Collingwood. And if you look through his numbers this year, he's played 4 games. He's only kicked the 4 goals. He's had 1 tackle in those 4 games and 2 marks inside 50. He's going to be 30 by round 1 next year. And there may be a trigger clause in his contract, but that's not going to help if he's not playing games at the moment. I'm not sure he's got a future at Collingwood. I'm sure there'll be another club that might look at him for 1 year with the different aspects he brings and strengths he brings. But his time at Collingwood is on thin ice.
Yeah, it's a fascinating one that Kane brings up. It wasn't long ago, Caro, that Essendon entertained, in fact, more than entertained, trying to get Mason Cox, and Collingwood were absolutely willing to look at it if the deal was going to be right, that being a high-end pick. If he's not in the team, then they need to start marketing potentially other clubs to go after him.
I can't imagine there'd be a high-end pick now. They do have salary cap issues, Collingwood, not as big as another club you're about to mention, but interesting to hear today. I think Sam Edmund broke the news that Jordan De Goey's father has been brought in and will be dealing with Jordan's contract negotiations with Collingwood along with a lawyer. Not the first Collingwood player to do that. Famously, Travis Cloke did a few years ago, got a massive deal. And obviously there's Darcy Moore to think about as well, and you would argue a more important player than Jordan De Goey. But this caught my ear when Eddie spoke about it on Classified a few weeks ago. He was talking about Tom Boyd and obviously Travis Cloke.
There's a big difference between being a member of a cast and being the star. We've seen it in Hollywood. The person whose name is on the marquee gets the big money, but they take all the responsibility. We've seen a lot of these young players, through their managers, get the big cheque and fall on their head. We've seen their careers fall over. You just see guys, Caro, sometimes they're just not the person to be the marquee player.
Was Eddie speaking to us or was he speaking to Jordan De Goey and Darcy Moore?